Let's take a break, and we'll come back after this this commercial, and we'll do more.
Okay.
Is that okay?
No, it's all right.
Okay, we'll be right back. We'll be right back.
You come out now, you're dead.
Hey, listen, you're not going to do Arsenio or Leno, are you?
I've got to. Hey, it's a business. Get used to it.
This is Larry Sanders, the ruthless, insecure, self-absorbed talk show host, star of the fictional Larry Sanders Show.
This is Gary. I haven't switched to Larry yet. When I get the tie perfectly done, then I'm Larry. But right now, I'm like Gary, and I don't know how to get into character with
This is Garry Schandling, who insists he is not a ruthless, insecure, or self-absorbed star. He just plays one on TV.
Wardrobe, come on! See, that was Larry. I really sometimes finish shooting a scene as Larry, and as soon as we cut, I say, I hate Larry. That's distorted. There's no getting it.
But whether you're talking to Larry or Gary, they have created a parallel universe of that staple of American life, the late-night talk show, featuring the kind of fly-on-the-wall moments you wish you could see on Letterman or Leno.
You want a Coke?
Yes, please. Thank you.
There's the suck-up sidekick, Hank, pitching bizarre products.
Say hello to the garden weasel.
Artie, the smarmy producer.
You're a talk show animal. You're like one of those damn creatures out of Greek mythology. Half man, half desk.
Even the send-ups show up to play along, like David Letterman did in one episode when he won the award Larry desperately wanted.
Take the award. I'm not kidding around this time. Take it. Please. It would mean a lot to me to take it. Go ahead.
Okay.
You're insane.
Schandling says his fascination with comedy began when watching the only talk show that mattered in Tucson in the 60s.
From New York.
I watched Johnny every night growing up in Arizona, and watching The Tonight Show and the comedians on The Tonight Show is the way that I think I got the comedy bug.
One doesn't think of Tucson as a hotbed of comedy, actually, all due respect.
Well, you know, I was never comfortable really considering being a comedian or getting into comedy as a means of making a living, because it was always something that was, no pun intended, laughed at and frowned upon, and you were usually punished for being funny if you think about it as a child, and punished for being different.
So after high school, he went to college to become what else? An electrical engineer.
When did you realize that you weren't going to cut it as an electrical engineer?
It was a movie-like moment in which I had worked all day, 5 or 6 hours in a lab at the University of Arizona putting a circuit together, and I went out to get a drink of water out in the hallway, and I couldn't walk back into the lab. Turned and dropped out of the engineering department that day.
In 1973, Schandling dropped into the LA comedy scene. At age 25, he was writing for the hit series Sanford and Son.
Do you want to be my press aide? You really mean that, friend? Of course I mean it. Go press this.
Then he decided to stand up and tell his jokes himself.
The last girl I made love to, you know, I said, was it good for you? She said, you know, I don't think this is good for anybody. God played his little trick on me in that I went up on amateur night at the Comedy Store, and I purely was reciting my material and frozen stiff, and it went over well enough to hook me and to make myself think that maybe I could do this. And then I bombed the next 20 or 30 times in a row and stopped.
Would you welcome Garry Schandling?
But he eventually made it, not only as a guest on Carson, but finally in 1983 as a guest host for Johnny.
That was such a wonderful ovation you gave me. I can't tell you how much it meant to me, and I really appreciate that to no end. Thank you.
And you richly deserved it.
Thank you.
An experience that helped make the Larry Sanders Show so real.
It will be a pleasure to help him and to serve him.
Excellent. This is the walk Larry makes.
Out there, right?
Right. And this is where he stops and works on his monologue. And this is very true to life to the feeling at the old Tonight Show with Johnny, when I used to come and stand backstage and be worried, and you hear them introducing your name, and it's really just a frightening experience.
Here's Garry Schandling.
But Schandling turned his back on hosting his own network talk show to pursue his creative vision.
Larry, what are you doing here during the show? Is there a problem or something?
There's no problem. I'm walking Miss Stone out. Common courtesy.
Oh, right. Good. There's a lot of gang activity in this part of the hallway.
As Larry Sanders, he combines comedy and acting, a craft he's been studying for 15 years.
Writers are used to having control, comics are used to having control. Isn't the point of an acting class to sort of give up that control?
I salute you because you have, in fact, nailed the one element of my acting that is weak, which is, what did you say?
Giving up control.
Yes. It's very hard for me to give up control of myself and to be out of control, which emotionally, which is to a large degree is what a great actor needs to do. And so I hold on too tightly, and that's what I'm struggling with.
If you want to see that struggle, ask about his near-fatal car accident in 1977.
I will not discuss a death experience that I had, and then I realized, why not? Let me tell you a little thing, why not? Because it's personal. I wouldn't tell you if we were even alone, let alone that there's cameras on. It's a personal thing that I don't want to share with everybody. It's a spiritual, deeply spiritual, emotional experience. One that someone like you would probably blurt out to the world. I want to hold on to it. It's special. It's special to me.
I can understand.
Have I frightened you?
No, not at all.
Oh, darn.
That Schandling edge has helped create the hippest show on television about television. It mirrors reality, and you can't help wondering if that's intentional.
Congratulations, Darlene, and good luck.
On the Larry Sanders Show, he has an office affair with a gorgeous secretary who, after meeting Hugh Hefner, appears in Playboy.
Hank, have you seen my Playboy pictorial yet?
In real life, the secretary is actress Linda Doucette, his girlfriend of 7 years who posed for last September's Playboy. They're engaged to be married. But ask Garry Schandling anything personal, and somehow Larry Sanders answers.
Are you afraid of marriage? Is it?
No, I'm very comfortable with intimacy and commitment. Very comfortable.
Why don't I believe that?
Hey, back up.
Why don't I
Give me my
believe
own
that?
space. Seriously, what do you want from me?
I want nothing from you.
What do you want? Get back.
I guess I just want to know.
Give me some space.
I guess I just
Seriously.
want to know. Because
I just need a minute alone.
God, you must be so hard to live with. Can I tell you, as a woman looking at you, must be tough, man. Don't you think you're tough to live with?
I have never had a problem with it.
But that's why you've been living alone all these years, huh?
How could you do that?
I do.
How could I judge what you would be like in a personal relationship from how you are as an interviewer? Because suddenly when we go home, you would be asking me all these questions. Or would you? That would be a horrible relationship.
That's why we'll never
I
live
married an
together.
interviewer. There's a nightmare movie. And why are you having the cereal today instead of the eggs? Wouldn't that be a living hell? This is the hallway that goes out to the elevators and so forth.
But for the moment, Garry Schandling is living in the virtual reality of Larry Sanders' world. And sometimes even he can't tell the difference.
So I always think that we're just doing the show in this room. I never think that it's on TV, including this interview. Like, I'm just here now,
right.
And I forget now that will be seen on televisions all across the country.
So this show is the perfect show for you, isn't it?
God.
In addition to his HBO series, which, by the way, has just received 4 Emmy nominations, Garry Schandling will soon be seen on movie screens as well, co-starring with Warren Beatty in the remake of the 1957 film classic, An Affair to Remember.